Hey there, Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. Just wanted to come on and have a conversation today about intentions. So, I don't quite understand the argument that you say something to somebody. And, sorry, I had to move the bowl away. My big dog wants to go get my fruit that's sitting here. Anyways, more between shifts. I don't get, when you don't understand what somebody's saying, and you call them out on what they've just said, and they come back and say, well, that wasn't my intention. Okay, I don't quite understand that. If your intention wasn't to be rude or disrespectful, then why were you? So, because you didn't intend to be rude or disrespectful, that means that the rude or disrespectfulness is acceptable? I'm kind of confused on that, because I just don't comprehend it. Intention. So, while I was growing up, and attending church and learning about man upstairs, the one thing that I realized and I was taught was that you may attempt to do good, but it may not turn out good. In church, they said it didn't matter. It was your intentions. Your intentions behind it is what God sees. Well, we're not God. So we can't see your intentions. And if you were rude or disrespectful, saying that wasn't your intention isn't changing anything. You should be honestly saying, oh, I'm sorry. That came out wrong. Let me reword that. That is you holding yourself accountable. But if you come back with, oh, well, that isn't my intentions, you took it wrong. No, I didn't. No, I didn't take it wrong. Your intentions were not what you said. We are not a society of mind readers. We don't know what's in your heart. Communication is key. And if you're communicating in a rude or disrespectful way, how do you expect somebody to understand what the intention behind it was? If somebody comes back and tells you, well, that wasn't my intention, you just misunderstood, or that wasn't my intention, okay, then why were you rude and disrespectful? Really, come on. I just don't get it. It makes no sense to me. And the other thing that confuses me about people is your word should be your honor. And too many people want to read into what I say. Like there's some hidden message behind the words that I say. They're not. There's no hidden messages. When you find your true authentic self and you love yourself, there's nothing hidden. So if you hear me say something, there's nothing hidden behind it. The reason that irritates me is because I will say something, and then later the person will say something to me, and I'll be like, what are you talking about? Well, you said this. I didn't say that. I said this. Oh, well, you meant this. No, I didn't mean shit. I said what I meant. We live in a society where people want to believe that they can change your words or their words just by saying, oh, well, this is how I heard it, or, oh, this is what I intended. No. Be true, be authentic, be yourself. Your intentions, if you were not intending to be rude and disrespectful, then you wouldn't have been. Really, it's that simple. And there are times where sometimes I'll be in a hurry doing something and I'll be talking to somebody. I've done it with my kids and other people in my life before. where I'm in the middle of doing something else and they ask me something and I respond to them, and it may sound kind of like kind of rude and kind of like I'm blowing them off. And the minute that I catch myself doing it, I automatically look at them. I'm like, I said that rudely, didn't I? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I am so sorry. That is not what I meant to say. I said I was thinking about something else. I should have stopped doing what I was doing and focused on talking to you. That's accountability. And that was totally my fault because I wasn't giving them the attention. I wasn't focusing on them. I was focusing on something else. They came in and I just responded without taking the time to look at them and acknowledge them and respond to them the way I should have. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. Sorry about the AC on. It's kind of warm here with the sun. Anyways, I just don't quite understand I get a lot of people that will say things to me, not necessarily like family and friends, but like people that I know or whatever. And I'll say something, they'll be like, well, you said this. I didn't say that. I said this, this, and this. Well, that's what that means. No, it's not. I would have said those words. I don't understand why we need to read into what somebody's saying. The only reason I can think of that we would need to read into what somebody's saying is because we want them to, one, say something different, or two, maybe it's because we're attempting to, I don't even know. I am so confused on people switching things up and saying, well, this is what I didn't say that. I don't know why we are a society that listens to, there's nothing evil or rotten about what I'm saying. I'm telling you exactly what I'm saying, and if somebody takes it differently, that's on them, not on me. If they aren't listening, because part of communication is not just listening and talking, it's understanding the other person. And if you have a conversation with somebody else and their understanding is their way, they don't attempt to understand you and who you are, then you're going to have the problem with intention and them reading into what you're saying. And to me, that just boggles my mind. I don't understand it, and every time it happens, I'm just in shock. Somebody says, well, I didn't intend that. Okay, then why did you do it? Well, I didn't mean to. Okay, then why did you do it? They can never answer that question. They can never answer that question. And they can't answer it because they wouldn't have been rude or disrespectful if that's not what they meant to do. They were just hoping that they could be rude and disrespectful towards me or you or whoever they're being, and that you were going to accept it. It's a form of manipulation. And so is when they don't try to understand you. If you are in a conversation with another human being, you listen, you talk, and you understand the other person. Not the way you think, but the other person. And the best way to do that is take what they say at face value. If you're constantly reading into what I or somebody else says, you really need to start working on yourself and find your true authentic self and learn to love yourself. Because the honest to God truth is if you can't take somebody at face value and you constantly have to think that somebody is forcing you to read between the lines, that's manipulation. I'm going to tell you the way it is. Most people who know me know that. Most people will tell you that I'm brutally honest. You're not going to get, I don't sugarcoat. And the reason that I don't believe in the sugarcoating, I might do a little more sugarcoating on here than what I would normally in my real life, but I don't like the sugarcoating because you're gently trying to explain something to somebody. Why? Why are we being gentle? Because the other person is going to be upset? Maybe that's what they need, so then they can change that about themselves. Or so they can acknowledge something about themselves. When you learn to find your truth on yourself and love yourself, you don't get triggered by things anymore. I have some people that are in my life. I wouldn't say they are extremely important in my life. I just know them. They may have been important at one point in my life, but they will say things. They will say things to me, like from my past. Like we're talking 20s, my 20s and stuff, and they'll say things to me that affected me in my 20s. Well, in my 20s, I didn't understand shit. I was still learning how to be an adult from being a kid and a teenager. And you're going to try to bring something up from when I was in my 20s and expect that that's going to affect me now? I'm sorry. I didn't stay stagnant in life like you did. I actually grew and grew up as I was growing up. So that's pretty much all I want to say. I gotta call my mom and dad and go back to work. But I just wanted to come on here and say that those two things just boggle my mind. And somebody tells me, well, that wasn't my intention. Okay. What was your intention? I can't answer that. And if I ask them, then if that wasn't your intention, why were you rude or disrespectful? They can't answer that either. And the reason they can't answer it is because they were. You just called them out on their bullshit. They don't have an answer for it. The only answer that they could truly give you is, I was trying to manipulate you. And the truth is, if one of them would have ever said that to me, I was trying to manipulate you, I would have looked at him shocked and I would have said, thank you. Because that was honest. I would rather be hurt by the truth than destroyed by a lie. Because a lie says that you don't think I'm smart enough to know the truth. And a lie, and the truth is, it might hurt, it might sting for a minute, but because you were honest, I now know that I can trust that person. So anyways, I'm gonna let you go. I hope you have a good day. And we'll see you in a day or two. Bye. Love ya.